Okay, I just got out of the shower. I'm feeling flush. I'm feeling like this cheap ass ring light is making me look crazy. But I wanted to get started on my RuPaul's Drag Race Chooses My TBR revamp series. So about halfway through RuPaul's Drag Race season 17, I had an idea that I wanted to do a series where I read a book based on the runway for that week's runway challenge. And I tried to do it like from the beginning of the season, midway through the season, which means I had like 8 runways that I needed to catch up on, and it was all just too much. I did one episode, I started filming and read a couple books for the second episode, but by that time the season was almost over, and it was too much for me trying to dedicate all of my reading to catching up on this one series. So I scrapped it. I didn't put out any more episodes, and I said I'm gonna restart in season 10, or in All Stars season 10, and All Stars season 10 has started. We have had 3 episodes so far, so I'm gonna read 3 books. I'm going to start by giving a little opinion about each of the runways, each of the looks, and I will then choose a book here for you. I already know what I'm going to read for 2 of them, but the other one, I have absolutely no idea. I'm like at a loss, so maybe I'll figure it out right here live on camera, which brings me into the rules for how I'm choosing the books, which I'm probably going to have to be very what's the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna have to take a lot of liberties with how I choose the books for one of these categories because, like I said, I just don't know. But here's how I'm gonna do it. Ideally, I will choose a book that fits the categories. So like one of the season 17 runways was Is It Cake? So I chose Fake Dates and Moon Cakes. This was a choice for one of the runways that got chopped. I didn't put out the video, but for the Tickled Pink runway, I was going to read I Might Be in Trouble because the cover is pink. So like either it's fitting perfectly with the like vibe of the category, or like there's something about the cover that makes me think of the category, or I might even go into like one of the actual looks that was worn on the runway reminds me of a book. So there already is a lot of leniency, but for one of these, I'm gonna have to really take a lot of liberties because it's a very confusing category to me. And it's the first one, so let's get started. This category was Tits and Slits, and it was all about big breasts and showing breasts and a dress with a slit in it. And I just don't know what to do. I don't think I own any books. Like, I'm even trying to look. I don't think I own any books that are about breasts or have breasts on the cover, have a slit of some kind on the cover. So I'm gonna be looking through these runways and hopefully I'll see one that like immediately reminds me of a book. So let's get started. First we have Aja. This one is gonna be completely unhelpful. She's doing this like Jinx the Pokemon reference, and this entire first episode she did a lot of like Pokemon referenced runways and they were all terrible. I do not like this look. Her boobs look really fucking weird, which is a shame because I'm pretty sure she's had top surgery. So I don't know if this is a breastplate. I don't know if these are her boobs that close together. It's a very unfortunate situation happening. And then the dress just like looks cheap to me, and the body paint does not look well done. I did not like this look. Let's move on. This is gonna very quickly become a Bosco standing episode. These are the breasts. Like these boobs. This is the top surgery. Like everyone needs to go to her surgeon. It should be a federally recognized right to go for free to Bosco's top surgeon. It's just so good. I saw a TikTok and it was like, protect the dolls, but this one's not safe from me. And yeah, I love Bosco. Okay, but the look itself, the look itself is amazing. She looks great. But this does not help me choose a book. I don't know, like, she has zippers. Okay, the thing that I don't like about this look is these are her boobs. So I don't understand why she has the zippers in locations where you would have a breastplate seam. Like, because when she came out, I wasn't sure if these were her boobs or if it was a breastplate. God, I look so red. This lighting and, like, me having just come out of the shower is, like, really not working. Yeah, the placement of these zippers makes it look like she has a breastplate on, but she doesn't have a breastplate on. Those are her boobs. So I don't understand, like, if you have these beautiful new tits that you just paid for, why would you make it look like a breastplate? I don't know. I didn't get that. And yeah, I don't think this look helps me choose a book, but I love it. She looks amazing. Okay. Deja Sky, this Ren Fair ass shit. I don't know. Maybe, like, are any of my books giving Ren Fair? Hold on. Maybe I read Gwen and Art are not in love because the medieval vibes. I think I just woke that up. Okay. Let's table that. This look is horrible. Let's move on. I'm so happy for Irene getting this, like, redo after going home first on her original season and then, like, sweeping these first 3 episodes. Spoilers, by the way. I didn't say it at the beginning, but spoilers for the first 3 episodes of Drag Race. Yeah, she sweeped this bracket, and she looks great. Okay, I might be in trouble, might make a comeback also because she's in all pink. This is pink, and, like, I'm stretching how I decide what I read because I don't know what to read for tits and slits. Like, the category itself, I just don't think I have anything that would, like, fit with that. So I just have to, like, if these runways remind me of a book, I just feel like I have to go that way. So, okay, Irene looks great. Let's move on. Olivia Lux, hate her. Love this look. She looks beautiful. The nude illusion situation is a problem, but it's a problem for everybody. I don't understand how we have not yet figured out the stage lighting situation causing problems for people's nude illusion. And then the way you're probably not going to be able to see it. I'm zooming in. Just the way, like, that nude illusion top, like, wrinkles and, like, takes you out of the fantasy is an issue. I'm also just nitpicking because I do not like Olivia Lux. But this look is, like, fine. Does it remind me of a book? No. Let's move on. Oh, Phoenix. Yeah, I like this look, but that shoe is so unfortunate. And it was also so unfortunate how she unzipped up here, and then you could see the bottom of the breastplate taking you completely out of the illusion. That was a shame. That shoe is a shame. Everything else, I think she looks great. I think this was a great comeback runway for Phoenix. Unfortunately, my queen, my icon and legend, no matter what Ice Spice says, did not do great in this return to Drag Race, but I'm happy she got that. Does this remind me of a look, this, like, gimp suit? I don't know. Do I have something like heavy smut, BDSM? I don't think I do. Okay. I like the idea of Gwen and Art are not in love because it kind of reminds me of what Deja wore. I like the idea of I might be in trouble because it's the same color as what Irene was wearing. But I am going to continue to look at my shelves and see if there is something. Like, maybe I have a book about breasts that I'm not remembering. Maybe I have a book like tits and slits. Like, maybe I really have to go out. Like, slits, like, maybe slitting throats. Like, maybe we read a murder mystery. Maybe we read a thriller. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing's coming to mind. I'm gonna have to, like, look around. Let's move on to the second runway, which was, this was coming and going. So a look, like, as they're walking to the judges and then they turn around and there's, like, a reveal as they turn around and it's, like, something else. I don't think, yeah, on the Instagram, It doesn't show both sides, so I will only be judging the front, which is great because a lot of their reversals were not good. And I do know what I'm going to read for this. It came to me, I was thinking about it last night while I was going to sleep, like, oh, what do I read for these runways? And I like shot out of bed when I thought about it, and I'll tell you what it was after I look at these. Aja's look, don't like it. These like cheerleader things coming off of like this diaper that she has on. The big bow right here is never successful for me. It's like way worse when she turns around too. Like there's no photo of that, you just have to trust me. This like cape that she has was really thin and cheap looking. I was not a fan of this. I do, despite dragging this hoe, I do love Aja. Like this is not an Aja hate account. I love Aja. Did not like this look, did not like the other one. Next. She just gives it to you every ball. I mean, when she came out, so the coming for this, she was turned around from what we see here. This is the going. The coming for this, she was turned around and it was like a coffin coming towards the judges, and then the coffin turned around and she's in this Elvira thing, and I like gasped. Like her mug is so insane, her body is so insane. I love Bosco. Okay, Deja Sky. This is a great look for her. Yeah, I don't know if I like the wig, but I get it. She's mugged down. I like the makeup. I like this a lot. It's very interesting. Like, I don't remember what it was in the bag, but like, this is an interesting look. It's good for her. For someone who seems completely incapable of serving a look, this was really good for her. Okay, this I loved. Like, not only is this like a very smart pantsuit, the like wig reveal when she takes it off, the alien is like controlling her and she's like making a political statement, and then she turns around and she's like a robot. This was fun. I really liked this. Her mug looks great. Yeah, this was a win. She looks fine. She's like doing this like Billie Holiday thing. Like, I don't know, there's just not much to say. She looks fine. Oh, that's not. Yeah, this was bad. I feel bad because like her story about this look was like personal and emotional, and I feel bad about that. So I'm going to remove art from context and say that this shit is hideous. Okay, so in the spirit of coming and going, and there's like walking that is being referenced in that category, I'm going to read The Long Walk by Stephen King. I love a death game. That one is about like, I don't know what the context of like the world is, or like if it's apocalyptic or if it's near future or what it is, but people can sign up to be part of this competition where they just have to walk. And if you are the last person left walking, then you win a cash prize. And if you stop walking, you are killed. So I love a death game. I just, over the weekend, went to go see Final Destination Bloodlines, and I was watching the trailers, and there was a trailer for The Long Walk movie. The trailer looked really good. I'm very excited for it, and I just love a death game. Like, a death game is always going to hit for me. So I want to read The Long Walk. I'm reading The Long Walk by Stephen King. Okay, so this was the makeover challenge. Each of the queens were paired up with a woman basketball player and tasked with making them over, bring them into their drag family resemblance, like that bullshit challenge. That's what this was. So I know what I'm gonna read for this. Let's get into the looks. Irene killed it, but you know who killed it more? Irene's partner. I don't remember any of their names, but she, like, okay, so not only was it like the makeover, but they also had to do a performance. And this girl, she just needs to do drag full time. Like, fuck basketball. She needs to do drag full time. She was so good. Irene got very, very lucky with this partner, and I think these looks were great, and they killed it. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's why I hate the makeover challenges on Drag Race, because it really is just a challenge for the judges and the producers, really, to do whatever they want. They'll just send whoever they want home, and they'll just like just decide to give them bad critiques. And it usually is in the form of, I don't see the family resemblance, whatever the fuck that means. So I like hate these makeover challenges. And usually the person giving the like, I don't see the family resemblance critique is Michelle. And she always does it like, if the queen is not perfectly twinning with the person they're making over, like Michelle gives them the I don't see the family resemblance critique, and then that person is usually in the bottom two, and it's really just a device for the producers to send home whoever the fuck they want. Okay, so looking at this here, like these two people look nothing like each other. Like Bosco did not even do her signature Bosco brows. She didn't give the signature Bosco brows to her makeover, and like that is her whole thing, like the devil brows. And like I don't really think they look the same. Like I don't really think her makeover's makeup really looks like Bosco's, and like the dresses aren't the same and they're not the same color. The most beautiful gowns on the runway, 100%. They both look great. I am not saying Bosco's in the top two, by the way. I'm not saying she shouldn't have been in the top two. Like, they look fucking incredible, and they did great during the performance. I am just so annoyed with Drag Race all the time because it is so transparent when the producers are just doing whatever the fuck they want. And Michelle, 100%, if these looks were anybody else, Michelle would have been like, I don't see the family resemblance, and they would not have been in the top two, but they wanted Bosco to move on in the bracket. And rightfully so. Like, if Bosco didn't move on, I would have rioted. But it's just like, the producers are so fucking annoying. Anyway, they look great. Yeah. That boot. Those white patent leather boots. They just upset me. Aja's girl that she's making over looks amazing. They did fine. It's fine. Okay. Deja's girl looks incredible. I feel like a common theme here, save for Bosco, is like their makeover partners look better and did better than the queens did, but that's whatever. Deja's girl looks incredible. Deja looks the worst out of all 12 of the people that were on the stage tonight. This look is so hideous. I don't understand the like taupe, like off beige bodysuit and like her orange body, and then like why just the like sad, droopy, slouchy heart on her chest. But her makeover partner looks great. And then why are they different colors? Let me move on. Okay, Olivia and her partner, they look great. I thought they did so good. Honestly, I could have put them in the top two over Bosco. Like, I could have had Irene and Olivia in the top two, but why would I want Olivia getting any flowers? Can't stand her, so I'm like fine with that not happening. Okay, and then Phoenix looked a mess. Her partner looked a mess. Her partner looked 50-ish, which I guess that's, you know, if Phoenix wanted to have a sister rather than a daughter, then that's great. I don't understand girls coming back for All Stars, like trying to reference things they did on the show, even if they were there just 2 seasons ago. RuPaul does not remember that. She doesn't remember what happened yesterday. She doesn't watch the fucking show. So she does not understand your reference. And when you are Phoenix and the last time you were on the show was 15 years ago, RuPaul does not understand your reference. So I didn't like it. I didn't like the reference. I think these looks are ugly. I love Phoenix so much, and I had such a good time seeing her again and her getting to do this again. She looks a mess. Okay, for this runway, in the spirit of family resemblance, I'm going to read Julie Chan is Dead by Lian Zhang. This is about a girl who's much more successful, much more popular, internet famous twin sister dies, and so she takes her twin sister's place, like basically like kills herself and takes her sister's place to live her life. And it is described as satirical, and it is described as for fans of Yellowface, which I am. So this is what I'm gonna read. for this runway. Okay, so we have two. We have The Long Walk by Stephen King, and we have Julie Chan is Dead by Lian Zhang. And I have to decide what I want to read for Tits and Slits. I do think the two that I already said I might be in trouble, and Gwen and Art are not in love, are like the best choices for the reasons I already described. Like, Tits and Slits is just like not giving me anything. Like, Family Resemblance Makeover Challenge is giving me twins. Coming and Going is giving me walking, so I'm choosing The Long Walk. Tits and Slits, like, what is that giving me? So I am gonna do one of these because Deja's Renaissance Fair costume reminded me of this medieval vibe that Gwen and Art Are Not in Love is giving, and then Irene's pink runway was giving me this pink cover. And I am going to go with Gwen and Art Are Not in Love because I'm trying to stay as true to like the spirit of the category as I can. And if we're talking about tits and slits, then like lesbianism seems to fit into that, and this book features a sapphic romance, so like that's where I'm going with that. This book is set in like medieval times, and I don't remember exactly like the status of the people in this book. I think they're royalty, and like Gwen and Art are the two main characters, and I think that they are to be married, but they don't want to get married. They are both interested in other people. Gwen being interested in this woman right here who looks like a knight of some kind, and then Art being interested in this guy right here. So like two queer romances, one gay, one lesbian. It seems fun. It's like romantic comedy vibes. It's medieval. It just seems like it's a good time. So I'm gonna read this. So that's the TBR. Gwen and Art Are Not in Love, The Long Walk, and Julie Chan is Dead. I'm probably going to read The Long Walk first, TBH. When I get started, I will come back and update you. Hello everyone. Happy Memorial Day for me. Happy whatever today is for you that you're watching this. I have coffee. I have a fruit and yogurt parfait, which I'm just realizing I never actually mixed. I have a fruit and yogurt parfait. And I also have my brand new On Your Nerve t-shirt, the best winner of RuPaul's Drag Race ever. I finished The Long Walk. Through gritted teeth and eyes rolled so far back in my head, I finished The Long Walk. And I was going to update you about halfway through, but I was hating it so much that, like, if anything happened in the next half of the book that made me hate it less, I'd have egg on my face. And because like when I say I was hating it so much, like I was gonna go in, like I was prepared to sit here and tear that book up. And I was like, no, because like if something changes in the next half, like it's gonna have to be a lot of editing and retracting. Like, let me just see if I really do hate this book as much as I think I do right now. And I hated it more. So I have my list here, and we're gonna get into this. The Long Walk by Stephen King is about some alternate reality, alternate future America. It might even be set today because it was written in 1979, so it's not clear like when it is. But in this speculative version of America, there is a yearly televised competition called The Long Walk, where thousands of men across the country between the ages of 12 and 18 can sign up to be a part of it. And out of those people that apply, 100 are chosen to compete. The way the competition works is from the moment the long walk starts, they have to walk and maintain a speed of no less than 4 miles an hour. If their speed falls below 4 miles an hour, they get a warning. They have a minute to go back to speed. If they don't, they get a second warning. Another minute to go back to speed. If they don't, they get a third warning. And if they still don't get up to speed after the third warning, they are shot and killed. The last person still walking gets to live, and they get the ambiguous prize of anything they ask for the rest of their life. Seems lazy to me, but that's the prize. So, natural questions you may be asking yourself when you hear the premise of this book is, what is going on in this speculative America such that thousands of young men between the ages of 12 and 18 think that their only option to get what they want out of life is to sign up to have a 99% chance of dying. What is going on in the speculative America that is allowing for this competition in the first place? Questions like these would have been great if Stephen King addressed them in any way. They are not addressed in any way. There is no discussion at all in the book about class, society, the systems that oppress, such that children think that their only choice is to sign up to die, like to have a 99% chance of dying with the slim chance that they can improve their lives. No conversation about what is happening in the world that leads to that. No conversation from King about what he thinks was going on in 1979 in terms of social, class, governmental structures that he thought would lead to a world in which people were choosing to do this. No conversation at all. It is literally just children signing up to die. That's it. That's the premise, with no conversation past that. In terms of the characters, because these conversations could be had through the lens of the characters, right? Like if all they're doing for however long it takes for 99 of them to stop walking, all they can do is walk. So like they're going to be talking, and the characters could have been having conversations amongst themselves about what their personal stories are that led for them to choose this. What is their family dynamic like? Where are they from that has led to them to make this choice? Like what systems have they been subjected to that have led to for them to make this choice? Are they escaping something? What is going on more generally that has, from the character's perspective, seem to have focused its oppression onto them such that they feel like they have to make this choice? Nothing. The only defining characteristic between any of these characters, there is one, and it is that they are insatiably horny. The only thing driving them to make this choice and go on this walk to have a 99% chance of dying is pussy. That is it. I don't know who any of these characters are. The only character I remember is Ray Garrity. That's the main character. That's whose perspective we're looking through, and I'm gonna get to him. But none of the surrounding characters, none of the other 99 people on this walk are defined or unique in any way, because every conversation Ray has with any of them, it all comes back to the special girl they have at home, the girl they're trying to impress, the girl they're trying to take care of, the girl they just recently married with a baby on the way. And because, you can't sign up if you're 18, you have to be under that. So, a young parent, that's something that could drive someone to feel like they have to make this choice. They made this mistake and, knocked a girl up, and now they have to provide and they feel like they have to do this. But that was one character, and every other character just wanted to fuck. That was it. And listen, I was once between the ages of 12 and 18, so I understand what it's like to be insatiably horny. That is not what I'm questioning here. Like, I understand that. But what I don't understand and what I don't get comes down to two examples. I can explain myself with two examples. Okay. One, first of all, when they're on this walk, when the long walk is happening, it's just on this one continuous road across the country. So civilians are allowed to come and watch, like camp out on the sides of this road and be moving back and forth on this road to watch the walk happen. Which, by the way, another gripe, there is no examination of the voyeurism that is inherent to that at all. Like, King has no analysis about the voyeurism of that, but that's a separate thing. But, so people can come and watch. And all the conversations, so many conversations had between these boys is that I can't wait to get to this place because my special girl is going to be there and she's going to be waiting for me, and I'll take a penalty if I can just give her one kiss. And like, so many conversations about that. And at one point, they're walking through a city, and there are these girls, and they're camped out on the side of the road, and one of them gets up on the hood of the car and spreads her legs and moves her panties to the side, and one of them, with the promise of death, if he stays standing still for 2 minutes, runs up and starts fucking this girl. You have a gun to your head, bro. Like, I just don't believe it. You're willing to lay down your life to get your dick wet? I'm not understanding it, and I'm not believing it. And I don't understand Stephen King's perspective on youth if he thinks the only characteristic, not even between 100 young men, even one, is that they're willing to take a fucking bullet to the head just to get a little bit of pussy on the side of the road. Like, I get being horny, but holy fuck. In another example, the main character, Ray Garrity, they've been walking for hours, sores on their feet, boots filled with pus, bleeding, tired, hungry, dehydrated. All he can think about is his girlfriend back at home. And while he is walking, hunched over, panting, gun to the head, if he stops walking, he's gonna die, literally comes in his pants, so horny thinking about his girlfriend that the friction of his pants jerks him off and he comes. What are we doing? What are we doing? That's the conversation you choose to have, Stephen King, is how horny these boys are when they are walking for their lives for the 1% promise of being able to survive and provide for themselves and their family. The conversation you want to have is that this boy is so horny he's coming in his pants with a gun to his head. That's the conversation. So that already pissed me off, and that's what I was ready to sit down here at 50% of the way through the book and complain about. So that's enough, but that's not it, because I need to talk about the main character, Ray, a little bit, because everything's from his perspective. Like, he is the main character of this book. He's the protagonist, if you will, and he is the lens through which we're getting this entire story. All he is an observer. That's it. This entire book is describing what he's seeing, who's getting shot, how that person feels like he looks with, you know, a gaunt face and his ankle fucking broken because he's been walking nonstop for hours. And we're only getting his perspective from what he is seeing. We don't know anything about how he is feeling about any of this besides that he's horny. All he is an observer. And as the main character of this book, of this death game, the presumption is that he's gonna win, right? I'm not gonna say whether he is or not, but the presumption the entire way through is that he's gonna win. So, well, it's not even that he's the main character. Yes, you want to care about him and care about his life and care about his feelings towards what's happening and care about why he chose to make this choice in the first place. But you want to care about everyone else too through him. Like the Hunger Games. Katniss is the protagonist. She's the main character. We're getting her perspective. So the presumption is that she's going to win. But you care as fuck about Rue because Katniss cares as fuck about Rue. And you see her care about Rue. And you get her internal monologue about why she has this connection to this little girl that she doesn't know and why she would be willing to die so that Rue can win. We don't get any of that in this book. We have absolutely no idea why we should care about any of these characters that Ray presumably cares about, and I'm going to get to why he even cares about them, but that's in a minute. But it's very, like, telling and not showing. Like, the presumption there is that Ray cares about some of these characters because he's talking to them and, like, is friendly with them. But there's no explanation as to why, because we don't get any of Ray's feelings. Like, we only get what he is seeing, nothing about what he is thinking. So I don't care about any of these characters. So when somebody dies, it's like, who the fuck was that? Oh, another one of the horny kids? Like, I don't know who any of them are. And then when Ray's fate happens, whether he dies or lives, I'm not going to say that, but it's like, why do I care about that either? Like, I don't know who he is because I don't know what he thinks. He was just a narrator. He was just a lens. So, okay. And then why should Ray even care about these people? Is the question. I'm going to use Hunger Games as an example again. We know why these people, some of them, care about each other. They feel oppressed by the system. They did not choose to be here. They got bad luck of the draw. They are being forced to be a part of the Hunger Games or they're going to be killed. And so there's a natural desire to help each other because they are all being oppressed by the same system. And even though they know only one of them is going to get out alive, there's an incentive to help each other because they have mutual grievances with their situation. And so they relate to each other, and so they want to help each other. In this book, they chose to be there. They made the choice to come into this game, into this situation, and have a 99% chance of dying. So when we're seeing them sharing food, or when one of them can't walk anymore and we see other people like lift them up and help them walk, why? If that person dies, you're closer to winning. And it's not like you were forced to be here. You're not a part of this oppressive system that has brought you here, from what we understand, because as I already said, there's no conversation about any of that. So what are you relating to besides the mutual pain you're feeling in this moment that you all agreed to have? You chose to be here, and you signed the paper knowing that only one of you is going to live. So why are you helping each other? You're not being forced to do this. You chose to do this, and you chose to watch 99 other people die. So what? There's no incentive to help each other. And that critique could be addressed if King would address any of the societal issues that I already mentioned and made it make sense that even though the characters are choosing to be here, that choice felt like it truly was the only thing that they could do, such that it doesn't actually really feel like a choice. Like in the Hunger Games, it literally is not a choice. Your name is drawn from a bowl and you're forced to go. And in the Long Walk, it is a choice, but if there was any conversation about the societal system that led somebody to make that choice, then the reader could feel like for that character, it wasn't really a choice. And then all the characters could have these mutual grievances that the reader could be in on if any of those conversations were being had, but they're not being had. So all we have is these 100 young men who are just horny, who have no problems outside of their life that we know about, that led to them making this choice, and now they are helping each other try and survive when the whole point of it is that only one of them can. So why are they helping each other? And then they're also so fucking mad at the guards who are, making sure they don't run off and, shooting people who lose the game. And it's like so much like cussing at them and flipping them off and, like I get it, like fuck 12, like I understand that part of it. But it just goes back to you chose this. Why are you mad at the people doing the job that you understand that they need to do and that you chose to be a part of? What are you mad at? So those are my thoughts. The most egregious amongst them, I think, is the lacking any characteristic besides being horny. I mean, you are walking to the death and you are running for some pussy with a gun to your head, knowing that if you stand there for a second too long, you're going to be shot. I mean, it pisses me off. And like, there was such a missed opportunity here to have any dialogue about class structure, societal systems, any of it. There's just such a missed opportunity. It literally is just 100 horny young men walking to get pussy with the hopes that they're going to be rich enough to be able to buy pussy at the end of it and still be alive. Like, that's it. And it pisses me off. So, if I wasn't reading this for this vlog, I probably would have... Well, no. I probably would have DNF'd it, but I don't think I would have, because I was interested... Well, I don't know if I was interested. I did want to know where it was... Like, it's an interesting premise. Like, 100 people walking to their death. I love a death game. I said that when I chose this book. I love a death game. So, like, I wanted to see where it went. But, and like I've said, I think I'm on record of saying on this channel that if a book has me interested enough to finish, then it at least deserves a 2 stars for me. We're making an exception here. This was 1 star. This was terrible. I am, like, actually so upset. Like, whatever. For all the reasons I just said, I'm so upset. But I'm even more upset because, like, I just don't think Stephen King is for me. This is the second Stephen King I've read. The first one was The Outsider, which was the inspiration for one of my favorite TV shows, The Outsider on HBO Max. That book was, like, mid. This book was, like, actually bad. And I really wanted to read Holly, which was, I think, his 2023 release, because that's Holly Gibney's story, who's my favorite character from The Outsider. And, like, it's not that I have a problem with Stephen King's stories. I have a problem with his writing. Like, I think he's a shit fucking writer. And I have absolutely no idea how he has the celebrity that he has. Like, he's a fucking bad writer. So, yeah, I'm very upset. I'm very upset. Anyway. Hello, everyone. I am making dinner right now. And I thought I would tell you how my next book is going. I decided to read Gwen and Art Are Not in Love next, and it's going so well. I'm about 1/3 of the way through, so let me just tell you what it's about. It is set in Arthurian times, and we have 4 primary characters. One of them is Gabriel, who is the heir to the throne of Camelot. We have Gwendolyn, his sister. We also have Arthur, who is a descendant of King Arthur. And he is like, his father in the story isn't royalty, I don't think, but he's like a politician of sorts that was instrumental in getting Gabriel and Gwendolyn's father to be the king of Camelot. And so we're following him, Arthur. And then we're also have Bridget McClare, I think is her last name. Or LeClaire. Bridget. And she is a knight, like the only female knight in this land. And she's participating in these games that are a part of medieval times, like fighting, jousting type games, for the entertainment of the kingdom. And she's a knight in those games. So we're following them. Oh, and what I forgot to mention too is that Arthur is, from the time Gwendolyn was born, Gwendolyn was promised to be wed to Arthur because Arthur's father was, like I said, instrumental in getting Gwendolyn's father onto the throne. And so, like, I guess as a show of continued alliance, Gwendolyn's dad, when Gwendolyn was born, promised that she would marry Arthur, who at the time Gwendolyn was born was 2 years old. So Arthur's 19, Gwendolyn is 17, and for their entire lives, they have had the understanding that they were going to marry each other. The only problem there is that they hate each other. So we're following their perspectives, and there's just so much tension that is making this so fun. Like, not only the tension of Arthur and Gwendolyn, like, being promised to wed, but they hate each other. Arthur, we're starting to find out, this isn't a spoiler, it's said in the synopsis, but it's starting to become clear that Arthur is interested in Gabriel, who's Gwendolyn's brother, and Gwendolyn is interested in Bridget, the knight. So there's, like, a love quadrangle happening. And so, like, even though Arthur and Gwendolyn hate each other, they've, like, agreed to kind of put their differences aside for the sake of everything that's going on. So there's like a fake dating scenario happening, and like that tension that's building is so fun. But like throughout the first third of the book, that has been a lot of the focus, is like their tension and their like enemies to friends situation that's happening, and like the fake dating between them. And Arthur has discovered that Gwendolyn is interested in Bridget, and so he is like trying to play matchmaker with them, kind of. But it's so funny because he's like such an insufferable. I'm like, have given up on cutting my bell pepper. He's so insufferable, and like it's just so funny how he like tries so hard to be frustrating to everyone around him. And then Gwendolyn, like, loath as I am to mention Harry Potter on my channel, but she's very much like a Hermione type of character, like stuck up, know-it-all type beat. And so like the dynamic between her and Arthur, when she's like kind of so snooty and he's so insufferable and intentionally prods at her, it's just so funny. And so like he's trying to set her up with Bridget, but like to be annoying, because like even though she likes him, she's very like, you know, she's just kind of like, she's just stuck up. She's very like embarrassed and trying to be like royal about her feelings, which is like sort of like trying to turn her nose up at such like plebeian feelings as romance, you know. And so like he is intentionally trying to like poke at her by trying to get her to feel something human, and it's just so funny. And then in addition to those four characters, those are like the main characters, but in addition to them, Arthur's bodyguard of sorts, Sydney, is starting to develop feelings for Gwendolyn's chambermaid, Agnes. So there's like so many like romantic interests going on that are all like intertwined with each other, and it's just making it so much fun. I am ready at a third of the way through for like to get on with the romance, because like I said, at this point it's been a lot of developing the relationships, like, or I shouldn't say relationships, like the dynamics between everyone. And so like we, like I said, have been focusing on it's summer in Arizona, so we're all just gonna have to accept that I'm gonna be looking like very shiny for the next few months, and we're just not gonna say anything about it. But anyway, so we've been focusing on the dynamics and like a lot of the enemies to friends and fake dating between Arthur and Gwendolyn, and the romantic relationship, or the beginnings of the romantic relationships between Arthur and Gabriel and Gwendolyn and Bridget have not been really the primary beats so far in the story, but like we're getting there and I'm ready to get there. But like I'm not upset that we're not there yet, because I've had so much fun just seeing the characters interact with each other. But like, of course, I'm ready for the homosexuality. Like that's always going to be what I'm here for. So I'm ready for that, and like I think we're starting to get there. Where I left off, Arthur and Gabriel just had their first scene like alone together for an extended amount of time, and nothing like explicit was going on. They were just kind of like, it was just showing us, the readers, that like there is interest there. And so like I'm, of course, enjoy the pining of it all, but then like I want to see the actual interactions. So I'll check back with you when I have something more to say. Perhaps I'll show you my dinner when I'm done with that. And I'll let you know how it's going. Here it is. It's like a spicy soy chicken with bell peppers, onions, garlic, all that good stuff. And I'm just gonna sop it up with this tortilla. I finished Gwen and Art Are Not in Love. I had such a great time. I love this. I think I'm landing on a 4.25. I think that's where I'm at. 4.5 feels a little generous. 4 feels a little harsh. So I think I'm gonna land on 4.25. I didn't have any additional thoughts from what, like any additional general thoughts from what I already talked about. Like, I loved the characters. I loved the tension. I think at the end of that clip that I filmed, I talked about I'm ready for the homosexuality to start. the more explicit homosexuality to start, and it did, like, in the very next chapter. That always happens. Every time I, like, complain about a book and I'm like, I'm ready for this thing to happen, it, like, happens immediately after I start complaining about it, so I think that means I really understand pacing. Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I just really didn't like the ending. And that's such a shame because, like, when you are so good at writing character, like Lex Croucher is, you're kind of giving yourself a really tall order because it makes your reader care about them so much more. And so I wanted these characters to have the ending that they deserved, and that doesn't necessarily, when I say deserved, I don't mean good or bad. I just mean um like grand, like whatever it is, whether it's good or bad, I want it to make sense and I want it to be emotional for the reader. And that's what I mean when I say I want the characters to have the ending they deserve. And I don't think the characters got the ending they deserve. Again, I'm not implying good or bad. I'm just saying, like, there was so much built up and so much tension built up. Um and so much emotion built up, and so much care for the people built up by the author, which I think is such a great talent. That, like, how it ends, I think it just sort of fizzles, which is strange because the events of the final scene, not about the characters, but just like what is happening, the event in which the final scenes take place, is very big and dramatic, but, like, as it relates to the characters, I was just kind of like, I don't know, like, one character made very confusing choices that the author, I thought, kind of set up to have a really big impact on the way the story was going to end, and it ended up kind of just not mattering. Another character, like, something happened to them that I wish hadn't happened, because I'm not gonna say what. I just, like, didn't want that to happen to them. Again, because, like, I care about these characters so, and, like, this is a young adult rom-com, so, like, you would hope everything would be beautiful and perfect and amazing. And it wasn't. But, like, things don't have to end beautiful and perfect and amazing for me to enjoy them. I just want them to make sense and, like, feel necessary, and it just, like, kind of didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I don't want to end this review on a sour note because I really did love this book and I very, very highly recommend it. Lex Croucher, like I said, is so good at developing character, and I think she did such a great job developing the tensions and the dynamics and all that. And I call this a YA rom-com, which it is, but it's also a historical fiction. So, like, it's like YA historical romance, rom-com. So many genres, and they worked together so well. Like, she did such a good job of addressing everything that you would expect to be addressed in each of those genres and brought them all together. And she really understood her time period, this, like, Arthurian Europe. And I thought it was so good. And she has another book out, which I thought was a sequel to this, which isn't. It's not. But I don't remember what it's called. It's right here. And that looks like a sapphic romance. And I haven't read the synopsis, but I hope it looks from the cover like it is set in the same time period. And I hope that it is, because she understands it so well and it felt so vibrant and so tangible. And how she did a really good job. So I'm going to give it a 4.25. This is a big win. I really, really love this. I'm definitely going to read more from her. And I've started Julie Chan is Dead. I am 37 pages into this and I am loving this. Like what a great way to come off of The Long Walk. And this wasn't this wasn't a book for this vlog, but at the same time I was reading The Long Walk, I was reading The Coin by Yasmin Zaher, I think is her name. And that was also horrible. So, like, I was reading two really terrible books at the same time, and now I'm reading two really great books. This is about Julie, her twin sister. It turns out they were separated in their youth, not really separated at birth, but their parents died in a car accident, and one of them was adopted by a very, very rich family, and then the other one was taken in by her, like, poor aunt. So, like, completely different lives. Sort of like, okay, so I talked about how this is comped to Yellowface, and with the writing and the satire of it all, like, I agree. It gives Yellowface. But I also think a good comp for this would be The Vanishing Half. The Vanishing Half is about two twins who make different choices in their life. They are both black and they both pass for white, and one of them chooses to leave her community and sort of assimilate into white culture and pass as white and live her life as a white woman, while the other one continues to live her life as a black woman. And this book explores how different their lives turn out. And wrong book. And this book sort of explores a similar-ish theme, just in the sense of there doesn't seem to be right at this moment the same conversations about race, but it's more differences in class that this is exploring, I think. I don't know, I'm still only 37 pages in, and the twins' separation was not by their choice. It just happened to them, but it's still exploring this idea of how different two people's lives can be given circumstance, even if they are as close to the same person as they can be, i.e. twins. So, yeah, Yellowface is a great comp to this. I think The Vanishing Half would be a good comp to this. And, okay, so what is it about? It is about twins. One of them was adopted. One of them lived with her aunt. The one that was adopted, she was adopted by a rich family, and now in the present, she is a social media star, you know, classic influencer. And then the other one works in a grocery store. And they haven't spoken in years, but one day Julie, the poor one, she gets a call from Chloe, the rich one, and it's like incoherent. She doesn't quite know what she's saying, but she just hears her say something about mistake. She is like Julie is kind of like haunted by this call for a few days. She doesn't know what it means, but she doesn't immediately act on it because they haven't spoken in years. But she decides to go to her house and check on her and finds her dead. And I think I'm about at the part where she's gonna decide to take over Chloe's life. None of this is a spoiler, it's in the synopsis. But she's gonna claim to be Chloe and say that the dead girl is Julie and kind of take over her life. And so I'm about to be there, but she's like looking, she like searches her phone, and like her phone unlocks, Chloe's phone unlocks with Julie's face, because like facial recognition, and they're twins. And she's like looking through statements from like social media, like brand deals and sponsorships, and like she's making like tens of thousands of dollars per month. And the last time that the two twins spoke, again, none of this is really spoiler, I'm 37 pages in, but the last time the twins spoke, Chloe like found Julie. She like hired a private detective to find Julie and like filmed their reunion and filmed her giving Julie a house and put it on YouTube, and was like, influencer finds long lost twin, #emotional, and it gets 20 million views. And when Julie's looking through her phone, she sees that in sponsorships and in viewership, she got like tens of thousands of dollars off this video. And so she like obviously sees that and is like pissed off because like they haven't spoken since then. It was all like performative on Chloe's part from Julie's perspective, and from our perspective at 37 pages in. I don't know what's to come, but like Julie's seeing this and is like obviously pissed off, and I think that's going to be like what determines her choosing to take over her life, because she feels like, whatever, she capitalized off me, so I'm just going to take the money I helped her earn and live her life. And I just love it. Like, if you've read Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, like, it has that same unreliable narrator, stream of consciousness, trying to justify her actions voice that Yellowface has. And so we're, like, so in this character's head while she's trying to, like, justify her actions and convince herself that she deserves what Chloe has. And it's just so much fun. And she, like, the author is very heavily critiquing influencer culture, which is a lot of fun also. And I don't know how much research she did. Like, I don't know how much of this is real. Like, the way that well, I feel like she probably has some insight, because it says in her bio that she what used to be a skincare content creator. So she probably has some idea of like how brand deals and sponsorships work and how much money can be made from that. And so she talks about that, and that's just like interesting to read about from from like an insider perspective. And yeah, I'm having a great time. 37 pages in, I'm really enjoying it. I love the voice. The character probably isn't going to be likable by the end of that, but like that's fine. That's going to be fun, I think. And so I'm having a good time, and I will update you when I'm a little further. Hi everyone. I have a book update, and I have some life updates. First, I wear glasses now. I have an astigmatism. So this is my new brand. This is my new personality. I literally just got them, like 2 hours ago. I mean, like, what time is it? Like 2-3 hours ago. And I feel like my vision is like buffering. Like, it's so weird because when I first put them on, I didn't understand what was happening. It was like completely not what I expected. But when I first put them on, the only word I could think to describe what was happening, I was like, it looks blurry. Like, I thought they fucked up my prescription. I was like, it literally looks blurry. And as I'm like letting that, like getting used to it, I can tell that what's happening is not that it's blurry. It's just like, things are so clear that it just like looks wrong. So like every time I move, like I think I'm just adjusting to this new way of seeing things. It like literally feels like my eyesight is buffering. So I don't know, it's weird, but it's day one, so we're gonna get together. But I can tell that like when I'm reading a book, like the edges of the words like this are fuzzy. And then when I put it on, like it does, like corrective lenses to correct for an astigmatism are supposed to like make things sharper. And like it very much does that. Like things are so much sharper. Like, but like I said, to the point where just things look wrong because I'm just like not used to this. So it's like, it's so weird. But I do still have 20/20 vision. So I'm still winning 20/20 vision with an astigmatism. And I got these really cute pair of glasses that my insurance covered $225 towards lenses. And then I got add-ons to the frames to like filter blue light because I'm looking at a computer most of my day. So I only paid $133 out of pocket, but it was like these glasses were over $400. So I'm feeling very chic in my designer. Okay, that's one life update. The second life update, as per usual, is that I'm hot as fuck because I just got out of the shower and I thought this hoodie was the move for some reason. My third life update is that I made a pair of pants. I don't think I've announced this on this channel, but I did in my youth, right out of high school, go to fashion school that I dropped out of. I'm a fashion school dropout. But now that I'm done with graduate school, I have been for like 6 months now, but I'm re-waking up my like creativity because my creative bones like atrophied while I've been in academia, while I've been in STEM. So I made a pair of pants and they look fantastic, but I was wearing them today and I thought they fit perfectly, but as I was wearing them throughout the day, they like were kind of loose and they like kept falling down. So I have like the hook. Oh, and I didn't put belt loops on them because I just thought it looked ugly. Like I thought the waistband looked so dainty and puss without belt loops. So I didn't put the belt loops in. So the only thing holding it up is like the hook and eye. And so I need to put another, like I'm gonna put another eye further in so that I don't want to move this because I want the option of wearing it like at whatever tightness that I want. I'm just gonna put another one so I can wear it tighter if I want. And I'm gonna do that while I update you on Julie Chan is dead. So when I last updated you, I was 30-40 pages in, And I don't know why I'm trying to do, I like can't do two things at once. I'm just gonna update you. Last time I updated you, I was like 30, 40 pages in. I am now on page like 170 something. So I've gotten much further in. I'm 54% of the way through. And I like don't have anything new to say in terms of the vibe. Like this book, you know the vibe from page 1. Everything I was saying about like the satire, the tone, the voice, like how that was 30 pages in is how it continues to be at 170 whatever pages in. She, like, Leanne Zhang, also this is just such a fucking strong debut. I'm loving this. If it's not clear, I'm loving this just as much as I was. Like, I have continued to love this. And Leanne Zhang, it has such a strong idea of how she wants the tone of this book coming across. Her satire is so strong and her voice is so strong. And it's been unwavering throughout the book. And it's just such a good time. It's such a funny critique on like social media and influencer culture. There's this one part. So like, at this point, Julie has fully hard launched taking over Chloe's identity, and she's like fully living her life as her twin sister. And so, and her twin sister was like, again, like you fucking just heard me say. For me, it's been a few days, so I don't remember what I said, but like what you probably just heard me say is that her sister was like a famous social media influencer, and like, so that's the life that Julie's taken over. And there was a part where somebody, like a different person, posted a video on YouTube about Chloe, and like was like a call out video kind of. And then so Julie as Chloe like posts a video like crying, talking about how mean this video is, and like basically gets her fans to like go to this person, like cyberbully her and tell her, like get her to take the video down. And so she does, and then she messages Julie as Chloe and is like apologizing. And Julie, she's like, thank you so much for apologizing. I know how hard it is to apologize, especially when you've done something so wrong. If you're feeling any depression about the situation, feel free to use my code Chloe to get a free session off Better Therapy, which is like, we all know what Better Therapy is supposed to be if you're on social media. And it's just so funny, like the faux positivity culture, the like, aggressive mental health destigmatization of social media. Like, she has such a good grasp on that and like pokes at that in all the right places, and it's so funny. When I last updated you, so this book itself comps itself to Yellowface in like 100%. If you like Yellowface, you will like this for sure. It has all the right notes. It's hitting all of the same chords. So if you like Yellowface, you're gonna like this. I comped it to The Vanishing Half, which I cannot find my copy of. I used to pride myself on, no matter how many books I have in this fucking apartment, I will be able to, like, I'll always know where a book is. And I've reached the point now where that is no longer true. I feel like I never know where a book is anymore. But so I don't know where they've been. Oh. That's crazy. It's right here. I comped it to The Vanishing Half, and I still kind of think that is true, but not in, me completely about to stop myself with this needle. I still think that, I still maintain that, but like I said, it's not, like, The Vanishing Half is fully, like, literary historical fiction, and is very, deep and has really heavy conversations about like colorism and race, and this is not doing that, but it is having conversations not heavy. They're like lighthearted and satirical, so that there's still good points being made, but they're not like emotional. But those conversations are about class, so it's different conversations about two different levels, like in this one black and white, this one upper class and lower class, conversations about those privileges and like the differences between, like, one obviously has more privilege than the other, And so it's conversations about that. And then this is like heavy and this is lighthearted. I sort of lost my train of thought. I started rambling. But what I was trying to say is, like, in both of these books, we have twins who, by circumstance, are living completely different lives. And so for that reason, if you're interested in that type of plot, then, like, I'm comping these. And then, okay, so a aspect of this is that, there's this group of like social media girls run by this one, she's basically like a Kim Kardashian type figure, like kind of top influencer billionaire, and her name is Bella Marie. And she has this like cohort of girls that are at varying levels of success in the social media space that she kind of like takes under her wing, and they're called the Belladonnas. And so Chloe is a part of that and has been a part of that. And it's like mentioned to her that this group goes on an annual trip in June to some undisclosed location, but it's very secret. Like, they don't tell anyone, they don't post. Like fans rumor about this thing, and there's like speculation about this trip online, but like the girls themselves don't talk about it, they don't post about it. It's like they keep it very DL. And obviously Julie has like no idea what the trip is. And so like there's this mystery about like, oh my God, this trip is coming up and I have no idea what it is. And like obviously all Chloe's friends think I'm Chloe and they expect me to know what this trip is, and I have no idea. So that's hanging over it. And I've just gotten to the part where they are going on this trip and they've just arrived to the location. And as this group of girls continues to spend more time together, it's feeling very, like, culty and unsettling in the way they interact with each other. I'm trying to find an example. Okay, here's an example. So I'm gonna, like, kind of censor it because I don't want to reveal, like, what the location is. And not that I really think it matters. One of them is, like, new to the group. So this is her first trip and she's feeling a little bit uncomfortable with the whole situation. And then the group of girls, some of them, the ones here talking are Emmeline, Anna, Kelly, and Maya. And so she's like talking about like how she feels unsafe, and she's like, it's very safe on, Emmeline says. Extremely safe, says Anna. Literally 0% crime, adds Kelly. America wishes, chimes Maya. And so there are these portions where like all the girls are kind of like echo chambering each other, and it is like unsettling in the nature of like this hive mind type of feeling that you get from that. And that type of thing happens a lot throughout the book when all the girls are together. And for that reason, I also think a good comp to this would be Bunny by Mona Awad. I famously posted a video with a thumbnail alleging that I want to fight this book. I hate it so much. And I'm not alleging that, it is true. I do hate this book and I do want to fight it. But I did not hate it for the like culty hive mind dynamic between the group of girls in here. That is not one of the reasons I hate it. I actually thought that was like fun and like produced the like creepy vibes that this book tries to produce. And for that reason, I think it's a good comp to Julie Chen is Dead. So if you like these books, Yellowface, The Vanishing Half, and Bunny, I think this will be a win for you. And it's a win for me. I'm loving this. There's no way that this gets lower than a 4. There's just no fucking way. Like, I don't see any way this book could end. Even if I don't love the ending, I, like, trust this author. And, like, I just don't see any ending that can make me, like, dislike this book. I'm just having such a good time. And it's just such a good debut. Like, it's so fucking strong. So, I'm enjoying it. If you like any of these, you'll like this, and I'm gonna finish it here at some point, maybe tonight. But I need to fix my pants, I need to make dinner, I might play some Fortnite. Like, there are things that I want to be doing, so I don't know if I'm gonna finish this tonight, but when I do, I'll let you know. Okay, I finished. Julie Chen is Dead. I'm gonna give it 4.5. It was fantastic. I had such a great time for all the reasons I've already described. It takes a lot of balls as an author to take the book in a direction that is not even suggested at in the synopsis. Like, if you pick this book up expecting something based on the synopsis, it gives you that for the first, like, 2/3, and then, like, we ended in a completely different genre, even. Like, this is only a mystery thriller for, like, 2/3 of the book, and then it's completely something else, and it goes in a completely different direction, and I think that, like, takes a lot of courage, so I, like, applaud her for that. But because this is a debut, a very, very strong debut, I maintain, but because it is a debut, I feel like Lian Zhang did not transition into, like, the different genre that I'm claiming this is by the end of the book. Like, the transition into how this descends into weirdness wasn't as clean as I feel like it would have been had a more experienced author handled it. So it was a little bit of a bumpy road getting from the mystery thriller, I'm taking over my twin's life and trying to navigate social media fame, into, like, where this ends. But it is such a good time. It was just, like, a little messy. But it was still so much fun. Like, 4.5 for sure. Like, it's just, it's so fun. I respect her. I applaud her for swinging big. And for me, I think she hit, but I've seen a lot of reviews that are like, what? And I understand those reviews because it really does go somewhere else. But I thought it was fun. So I'm going to land on a 4.5. And with that, we're done with this vlog. Where are the other books I read? Oh yeah, one of them was audio, so here's that one. But then here are the two that I actually own, and I'm glad that I don't own this one because it was terrible. But we had two big wins. I'm very, very happy. Gwen and Art are not in love, 4.25. Julie Chan is dead, 4.5. Just a fantastic time we've had here in this vlog. Even the one that I didn't like, we got a good, like, hater vibe going in my review of that one, and it's always fun to hear me yap, in my mind, I think it is. So, congratulations to me. Congratulations to you for finishing this video. Before I put in this final clip, we're already well over an hour. So, thank you all for hanging in there and watching and staying till the end. And this was my favorite book of the vlog. So, like, maybe there's, like, a phone emoji, like, in the interest of social media. Like, maybe there's a cell phone emoji you can put in the comments and let me know that you finished. And with that, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.